So give us a sort of overview of Chelyabinsk. What kind of a place is it? I mean, you said Detroit.
Well, it's a industrial city, like all Soviet cities, where the industry is pretty much in the center of town, because in the early days, and it also represented and became a great way to describe the effects of World War II, because Chelyabinsk was beyond the Urals. I mean, it's on the far side of the Urals, so it was safe from Hitler. And it was where they sent suspect Soviet Germans to work, because it was far away from, so they could not be collaborators. It was where the factories went in order to build tanks, and became known as Tankograd during World War II. And the population exploded. People were living in unspeakable conditions during that period. It took a while for all of that to resolve. And the legacy of that was that there was kind of a pride, but it didn't make it more conservative, actually. And when Chelyabinsk opened to the West in 92, 93, there was huge excitement. I mean, it was like, wow, you know? I mean, and I describe in the book, you know, going, the Seventh-day Adventists came to Chelyabinsk for about a month. And every night they were in the Communist Party theater. And every night they packed it out, 500, 600 people. Now, not that they all came away going, yes, and it was all very, and they gave people American flags when they quit smoking after a while. Most of them women and only a few. But people came out saying, this is really interesting. I mean, they were exploring ideas, and they had an unfortunately delusional idea of what the West was, that it had to be paved in gold, that they had the answer to everything. And if only Russia could be like the West, everything would be wonderful. And then, of course, they began to travel, even from Chelyabinsk, whether it was a Turkish vacation or to the Sinai for a beach vacation or whatever. They began to learn more and more about really what the rest of the world was like. And at the same time, they felt betrayed that the West was moving NATO closer and closer to their borders. Relations were not going so well. And that's where Putin really played cleverly on people's feelings of, wait a minute. First of all, they felt like betrayed lovers because they had delusional ideas about the West. Second of all, the West began to treat Russia, ignoring it, and in Russians' views, treating it like losers. And it was a toxic combination.
Yeah. A lot of your characters, including the most sophisticated of them, come across as walking contradictions. You know, you have the magazine editor who dresses like something out of Vogue, but thinks that the West really is conspiring to bring Russia to its knees. You know, you have a lot of characters who idolize Western culture, but feel humiliated and defensive about Stalin, for example.
Who becomes more popular by the day. It's a total contradiction, and one of the most poignant, I think, characters is somebody who really wants to make changes, but he supports the Putin vertical just passionately, even though that is what is stopping him from doing what he wants, to make the necessary changes. And you can't argue with him. I mean, you sort of reach a dead end. It's like, no, things have to stay the way they are. And I think there's an element, a big element there. Putin may be not the best thing that came down the pike, but it could be worse. And in fact, what's going on in Chelyabinsk now, I hope I can go back. Friends think that's unlikely there. But we'll see. But there's, on the one hand, you do have this very strict Putin vertical, where it would appear that, anyone who goes against him, and anybody who puts their head against the transom and becomes too popular, their head gets chopped off. But there is a very nasty war going on in Chelyabinsk between the FSB, the heir to the KGB, and the governor's office. And it's all about power. It's all about money. It's not about ideology. And it is really vile. And it represents a little bit of where people say, you think Putin's bad, it could be a lot worse. I mean, we could really have ultra nationalists here. And one of the things I kept saying to friends is, okay, but where are the red lines? Where is it where the kids will say, no? The kids are utterly apathetic, and Putin has very cleverly played the internet. They can download whatever music they want, whatever movies they want. For a while, the economy was really doing pretty well until 2012-13. But now he's turned it around saying, okay, the economy's not doing so well. It's because of the West. And we're going to become self-sufficient because of this and stronger. There's no evidence of that yet, and it's a big challenge. So we'll see if that happens. But the internet is, but on the other hand, the internet, and some poor schmuck who says, I don't believe in God, suddenly gets a sentence. I mean, why is he singled out for posting this on the Russian version of Facebook? And there are any number of people, more people this year, who just first have come under the extremism laws, which are all so vague that anybody can come under them, depending on the court in the region. So it's a mix. Once again, a contradiction. There's, on the one hand, it seems a lot of freedom. The kids say, we don't notice anything. We can travel. We can, they're back in the kitchen, essentially, with the internet.